by Central Florida Behavioral Health Network. Visit CFBHN.org. Imagine how frustrating it is to pitch to a guy like this.
Did you see that little hand gesture he did, kind of pushing away from himself?
Meeting breaks up. Here's a word from Central Florida Behavioral Health Network.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't.
I promise.
Rays in Minneapolis.
Well, heading into the bottom of the 6th inning here at Target Field, it's been all Rays.
Game Rays live post game presented by Central Florida Behavioral Health Network. You'll hear from Kevin Cash. We'll have interviews from the clubhouse. Rich and Orestes along to direct the goings on. Home run for Kevin Kiermaier. Jeffrey Springs, another good outing. Scoreless through 5 1/3. Whistler is 5.
Rays Live, the postgame show, brought to you by the Central Florida Behavioral Health Network and Talk. They hear you. The Rays respond to back-to-back losses in Minnesota with a bounce-back win in the getaway game, a 6-0 shutout in Game 60 of and others, as we welcome you inside the Valley Sports Studio, another victorious edition of Rays Live, the postgame show, brought to you by your Central Florida Behavioral Health Network, alongside the Big O, Orestes Destrada. Springs this afternoon today on the road, going again his 8th start, and once again he was lights out. A career best 94 pitches, and he was in control from the get-go.
Really, it wasn't much of a scare at all in his 5 1/3. In that 6th inning, gave up that walk. He had 94 pitches at the right time to time out. This guy really hasn't been a seasoned starter. I think he's been a seasoned professional, minor league and major league. This is 118th appearance in the major league, but only his 8th start. But now he's really getting comfortable, Richie. The way that he dominates the strike zone, the way that he can throw that little fastball, that running fastball up in the zone, and then that changeup. There it is right there. He got hitters, quality, hot hitters like Buxton a couple of times. None more hot than Luis Arraez, who he can.
Got into one here. It was a no-doubter, and that was the tack-on run the Rays were looking for. They pitched their 5th shutout of the season and improved to 35 and 25 on the year. Rays Live, the postgame show on Valley Sports, is presented by the Central Florida Behavioral Health Network. Start underage alcohol use. Talk, they hear you. Visit CFBHN.org for information and tips. How about that? Rays pitching showing up again. 8 of their last 11 games, Rays pitching has allowed 3 runs or fewer. That was spearheaded by another great start from Jeffrey Springs. Let's hear what Kevin Cash has to say about it.
From your pitching and your offense to get the shutout?
Yeah, all-around effort. Jeffrey Springs set the tone, so that was really encouraging. I think he got to a pitch count high, and it wasn't able to complete the 6, but really appreciate his entire body of work today to limit a very good offense. Offensively, we did some good things, put some pressure on a younger pitcher, so encouraged by that.
Randy Arozarena had himself quite the day after getting hit by a couple pitches. Yep. He went out there on the base paths and then scored that impressive run. What did you see from him?
Just a guy that was, motivated to go out there and help his team win. I applaud Randy for keeping his composure. It doesn't feel good. I don't think there was any intent by the pitcher. I'm very confident in that, but that doesn't make it feel any better. So there's frustration, but he kept his composure, went out there and played a good game.
Did a little bit of everything. Once he got out there, he stole a couple bases.
A nice play in the outfield. Got a hit, I believe. RBI double. So quite the impact that he had on us today, getting on base and with everything else.
How would you describe that move at the plate to score? Was that like a dance move, or what would you?
Slide. Yeah, that's how I would describe it.
Sliding foot, maybe? What has made Springs just be able to keep this up? I mean, it doesn't seem like people are catching up to him or figuring him out.
Yeah, look, I think when a scouting report, you look at the guy, what he does, he's not doing anything different start to start. It's pretty consistent, but most of your good pitchers are consistent with how they go about it. I just think he's putting himself where he's pitching with confidence. His stuff is good, and throwing early strikes, that's going to help any pitcher.
You mentioned Randy was motivated. Do you think anything extra? You think he was a little more motivated after the 2?
No, I don't think so. I just don't think it felt good, which I don't blame him. It looked like both of them hurt, so you just go out there and keep playing.
Frankie was okay, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you talked about before the game, I tried to build a little momentum. This is team win probably helps a little bit, right? Head
into the off day, going into an early big series against New York. Ideally, you come off feeling a little bit better about yourself. We hadn't the last couple days.
Right. And KK with a pretty good shot there toward the end.
Yeah, that was a pretty majestic home run. Good to see him get into a pitch. And then one thing to note, just know that today is the 6th year. It's been 6 years since the Pulse nightclub shooting. Just that we're still thinking about the victims and the families.
Very nice.
Yeah, Kevin Rosarena scored. Again, even the third base umpire saying there's no way he gets home on a traditional slide. Nothing's traditional with Randy. Rays Live, the post-game show on Bally Sports, is presented by Central Florida Behavioral Health Network. Be in it to win it with your kids and stop underage alcohol use. Visit CFBHN.org for info and tips. And by all